Earth. 20 CE it appears. Well, this is a headache that shall linger. How did you pull me from the time slip? You are either a genius or mad with power. Either scenario is unfortunate. I need your clothes and your car. Don't ask questions. I don't suppose your designation is Johnny O'Connor. That would be a rather fortuitous coincidence. Log date 7112. I am stranded in the year 2016. The local denizens appear to be gelatin-based. Will conduct science until rescued by HQ. This timeline is confusing and my data seems incomplete. You must assist me to correct factual errors. Has humanity discovered that most ficuses achieve cursory intelligence? Has the Tree Emancipation Proclamation been ratified yet? Cursory reviews of your internet archival system revealed many humorous points of ignorance in your culture. Can you really not believe it's not butter? Has Stephen Hawking built his indestructible mecha body yet? Who is the current God Emperor? Log date 7112. I have confirmed the spectrometers in my glasswares are not malfunctioning. The sky is indeed blue in this timeline. Are dank beams not the primary basis of currency in the 21st century? I have initiated friendships with several of our shared acquaintances. Al's memories appear to defy the laws of physics. I spent several hours interviewing a ficus for answers before realizing it had not achieved sapience. What a hilarious oversight. I must admit I would be rather lost without you. Thank you for the recent explanation of undergarment functions. I shall consider obtaining some. The feature I'm most sexually attracted to is intelligence, or as I've noted how your timeline refers to it, smarts. Log date 7112. The marshmallow from the local time group remains in constant contact. I am beginning to find them physically attractive. I was relieved when I discovered your civilization had not yet weaponized 4chan. I have observed you performing perfunctory scans of my memories. Is there a reason you are not more thorough? I experience elevated mood when you're around. I need to figure out how to turn you into an aerosol. I have conducted a full study of the feminine individual Quill and have concluded that she is beyond my capabilities of science to explain. Earlier, I had considered decoupling your timeline from the multiverse in order to propagate a strong enough temporal event to go home. I have changed my mind. I believe we should conduct some more experiments in this Twister game you showed me. The results have been fascinating. Would you mind explaining the rule of paper in your lavatories? I'm afraid I'm only familiar with the 3 seashells methodology. Log date 7112. The marshmallow has introduced me to the joys of material opulence and frivolous spontaneity. They appear to be an expert. Though disconcerting, the appearance of these strange ideographs on my eyes appear to denote my affection. I remain in constant anticipation that you will want to perform explorative research on me. I have used my computer to perform several simulations recently that would likely get me court-martialed from the Librarian Assassins Confederation. You make my anoxic sediments want to increase their redox potential. I find I cannot imagine my life without your involvement, without considerable emotional turmoil. I will remain in this timeline until you succumb to injury or degenerative wear on your physiology. I crave you. My instincts are telling me my life is in danger. How disturbing. I cannot discern who would pose a threat. Please be advised. There is a remote chance I am being hunted. My defenses are now on high alert. If I wind up murdered, please escape to a minimum distance of 5 kilometers. My heart is wired to a Sweet 16 explosive device. My proximity alarm detected an intruder last night. They escaped before I could subdue and eliminate them. My psionic skimmer cannot detect the motives of whomever is hunting me. They are either extremely skilled or utterly emotionless. I must admit, nothing causes physiological hyperarousal like the prescient need for combat. I am experiencing significant vexation. I thought I should tell you since you seem incapable of interpreting nonverbal cues. There is evidence to suggest that this universe exists within a simulation. In my time, this is known as the crush-crush theory of existence. I have observed you on several outings with other feminine individuals. Please advise me how to conduct my own outings with them. I find considerable mirth in the existential crisis provoked by attempting to reconcile free will with the determinative nature of physics. There is a primitive charm to your civilization. I hope you do not self-destruct before reaching higher on the Kardashev scale. I am surprised that my lack of a third breast has not turned you off your courtship rituals. Is it still the norm, then, in this century? My glasswares allow me to see individuals without clothing. Your physical form is nice, but pales in comparison to Bonnabelle's. Odd. I was staring at your gluteus maximus, but without the aid of my glassware scanners. What a delightful waste of time. I am pleased to see you. I find you intellectually stimulating and physically attractive. Forgive my sentimental romanticism. Cease interaction! You are profoundly misinterpreting optimal physical interaction with my interface! Your physical interaction has caused an unforeseen gargalesis response! Stop! It is delicious torture! I get tingles when we interface. Thank you for the increased endorphin levels. I will break this object down into base components and use it as fuel in my experiments. I appreciate your contribution. This object pleases my aesthetic standards. It is almost a shame to use it as fuel in my experiments. What a fascinating gesture. You appear to be conducting some sort of mating ritual. I will spare this object from my experiments. Inspiring. I felt a surge of heart palpitations at the sight of this object, not unlike the brushing of a butterfly's wings. I believe I may be ill. I understand now the meaning of these gestures. Thank you. You are accurately interpreting my material desires. Words fail me. I am overwhelmed with emotion. I feel sensations I cannot completely ascribe to electrochemical action potential. Computer simulations project your danger rating at approximately 8%. You pose less danger than room. We can converse. I am stranded in this century until further notice. I require your assistance. For science. I noticed you have maintained a degree of civility despite my hostile tone. Am I to interpret this as not from a lack of fortitude, but is intentional? It appears to be rather significant effort on your part, but I admit to preferring you now than you were before. You remain the singular source of consistency in my interactions with this time period. Can I depend on your continued support? Excellent. You possess many desirable attributes in a lab partner. I look forward to discovering more. I need to increase overall favorability with you in order to perform several crucial experiments. Do you object? Excellent. We are now considered friendly rivals. I look forward to increased relational tension in our interactions. You are a valued contributor to my reconnaissance. We should spend more time interacting on personal matters. I would be interested in performing several experiments on your body. I find it rather fascinating. Are you attempting to initiate courtship? You are aware that I am only a rank 7 feminine librarian assassin, right? You flatter me. I do not rebuff your advances. Please, initiate courtship level Delta. Your presence stimulates me. My heart rate increases and my pheromone production spikes dramatically. Are you doing that on purpose? It's too bad that weaponized sexiness was outlawed by the Geneva Commandments of 2135 CE. You would make an incredible weapon. I am not interested in meeting the requirements for a monogamous pairing. However, if you would like to initiate a more intimate designation, I would not object. Very well. We shall take the neutral terminology of girl and friend and create a compound word implying essentially the opposite. I am submitting an application for the joint initiation of intimate congress, subject to approval of pre-existing physical requirements and standards. Access granted. My garment security passcode is Megane Co. Do your worst. Our activities were satisfactory. Thank you for your participation. Our outing has left me with more questions than answers. Thank you for covering the monetary costs of the expedition. I have collected significant data on courtship rituals. I must return to my domicile and get hands-on with the results. I am left with a sense of anticipation for our next interaction. I will see you in my REM sleep tonight. Excellent. Socially acceptable public lingerie. My war on common decency continues. I have made several alterations on this uniform to better reflect the fashions from my own timeline. I admit this bonding ritual is endearing. You have made an interesting case for monogamy. Fascinating. This outfit would be considered formal wear in my time. How quaint that it should be considered titillating. In this context, are you suggesting that Santa enjoys sexual congress with his elves? A fascinating theory, actually. Tell me, do you pronounce the word meme as Mimi, or do you pronounce it correctly? Please inform me when the lust apocalypse begins. It is an opportune time to invest in personal lubricant. Please inform me when the lust apocalypse begins. It is an opportune time to invest in personal lubricant. In the event that I would need to alter the course of history in order for us to stay together, please know I would do so without remorse. Screw the future. Your timeline seems a great deal more interested in dating and relationships than mine. Perhaps I've slipped into a different time genre as well. It's humorous to see your civilization coming to an end due to climate change. It's like watching a train wreck. I cannot look away. I have isolated a new particle type I've dubbed sextrinos that appears to be excitations of a universal sex field. You generate a lot of them. You are the only individual that can enter my lab and contaminate my experiments, and still be ensured of copulation. The word GIF is pronounced with a hard G, like the word graphic. Failure to do so will result in termination. I enlarged my breasts yesterday to Al's dimensions, but my back was sore within 30 minutes. That girl is a miracle. I am almost finished assimilating the knowledge base of your civilization. Unlike yourself, it cannot be described as well endowed. Whatever satisfaction you get from this interaction, know that it is met with an equal and opposite oath of revenge. FYI, tickling was outlawed in 2036 after the franchise wars. Get your kicks while you can. These material objects are a suitable expression of affection. I enjoy receiving them. I tried to run the numbers on the economic principles of your spending habits, and my computer crashed. I have several warehouses filled with the items you have provided. I suspect you are violating laws of thermodynamics. Ah, good. My favorite guinea pig. Swallow this and tell me what you feel. I am having difficulty deciding whether to return to my timeline or just force this one to evolve to my standards. Decisions. Greetings, designation, lover. Are you here to conduct research, to pleasure me, or both? I have been rehearsing several pickup lines to use on the other girls. What do you think of... Hey there. Let us stimulate each other in a reciprocal manner. Your internet is so inundated with entitlement that there's a 98% chance this dialogue will offend someone. I remain skeptical of some of the minutiae of our relationship, but after analyzing contemporary pornographic standards, I am certain we make a good couple. If you maintain current romantic standards, I will acquiesce to unusual coital permutations. According to my probes, you appear to be emotionally satisfied with our relationship. Can you verify those findings? Excellent. If my probes were inaccurate, I would have to extract them from you. Not a pleasant procedure, I'm afraid. You continue to surprise me with your actions and gestures. Despite the obvious danger I pose, you remain receptive. Is this romance? Then perhaps romance isn't dead. It's off to the side, secretly touching itself. Ah, yes. Now that I'm disrobed, you can conduct more thorough examinations and probings. I detect that you are feeling amorous. I will not rebuff your advances should you wish to copulate. My erogenous zones are rather ubiquitous. It's going to take you a lot of oral stimulation to discover them all. We shall need to be cautious when employing the use of handcuffs and whips. My training may kick in, and you would regret it. As we are copulating for recreation, please feel free to invite others along. I would be pleased to coordinate with you on pleasuring Nina. My legs can crush a human skull if necessary. Shortly, I'll be wrapping them around you. Fear is an aphrodisiac. Being nude shall increase the efficiency of sexual congress. This is a brilliant idea whose time has come. Please be aware that despite my neutral demeanor, I am dramatically vocal when orgasming. Ready for some hands-on research? And by that, I mean coitus. I do not require tickling as pretense for copulation, if efficiency is your priority concern. You are persistent, but maintain this display of affection, and I shall go retrieve my tickler device from my lab. You are annoying me, but only because secretly I want to laugh, but my training prohibits me. You have your work cut out for you. Very well, if it will give you a sense of satisfaction. Incidentally, being nude is a requirement for using time-slip technology. Or at least that's what the technicians told me. I'm pleased to see that the sensor steam has dissipated, and my genitals are now discernible. It is convenient that my naked body is sufficient to turn you on. In the future, courtship has become more colorful. I was not prepared for that. I didn't know it would feel so devastating. I have so many other things I want to try. Are you ready?